Welcome back to the TBB Network. I'm your host, Ed. Let's just dive into it. So, word on the street is Diddy's cooked. The FBI came and picked him up last night, and he's in jail now. He's in jail right now. He's in holding, and they're probably going to try to post bond, but his lawyers are saying that they're going to fight like hell. He was taken into custody in New York City last night. I think he brought himself up to New York, and they were working some sort of legal between himself in, and there was going to be some sort of agreement for him to turn himself in, and the just said forget that and came and picked him up the night before. So Diddy's cooked right now. There have been a lot of releases. The internet is on fire once again since last March. Yo, what am I gonna say? So now the U.S. attorney are charging Diddy with multiple offenses. I mean, life in jail, multiple lifetime offenses, kidnapping, multiple charges for kidnapping, multiple charges for multiple charges for bribery, multiple charges for, what was the other thing? I said that already, right? A lot of it. And so this is coming really weird because, not weird, but what the feds are doing is they are treating this as a RICO case, and they have considered Diddy's entire business affiliation since 2008 to till date to be a crime syndicate. And perhaps he's the kingpin, or maybe he's just a foot soldier. Not really. I don't think so. He's pretty much up there. But they're treating this case as a RICO case, which means a lot more people involved with Diddy are going to go down. I'm predicting J-Lo. We might find out something about Pharrell. I hope Yeezy doesn't pull up anywhere on this shit, but I'm pretty sure Yeezy is good. Jay-Z is underwater. What else? Beyonce's in hot water as well. And many more people you're going to see who are affiliated to Diddy. Russell Simmons, all these people, all these Jermaine Dupri's, Carisha, a lot of these people, Big Meal, all these people are really going to have some hot problems coming their way for their affiliation with Diddy. Apparently, the feds are motioning to seize all his properties and businesses, confiscate all that and his money. Oh, I knew yesterday when I started seeing Diddy show up everywhere on social media, there was some sort of weird conspiracy at play. And also, for some people who didn't notice, I noticed his son was in D.C. His son was in D.C. at the White House, one of his sons. That was weird. They were celebrating at some all-white party at the White House for the liberals, for the black liberals. That was weird. I saw that video. I don't think it was popularized, but I saw a video on someone's Instagram, and I thought that was weird. Meanwhile, Diddy's in New York as well, you know, being out in public. He's doing interviews, like social media interviews here and there. You start seeing them again. I knew that something was up. Yeah.
Sex trafficking, drug, the list goes on, and it's multiple acts in each.
He's being charged with sex trafficking and drug distribution and many multiple offenses of these. It's not just like one charge, multiple offenses.
Not that they see his entire, all of his businesses, all of his, how far they're dating this back, since 2008, all fall within now being a criminal organization. So that means.
So like I said, since 2008, they're considering all enterprises to have been a drug crime organization involved in sex trafficking, bribery, and all sorts of heinous crimes from New York to California.
His record company, his liquor company, clothing company, the TV and media company, like all of things are part of it. So the United States is also seizing and forfeiting he has to forfeit his assets, property.
He has to forfeit his assets, personal properties, business properties, homes, cars, jewelries, business enterprises, his clothing line, all of it. He has to forfeit all of it.
That anything that he profited from, okay, during this time from these criminal organizations that go back with these acts that are claimed in there, saying that his employees, his housekeepers, like personal assistants, his friends, they are just layering this down with all.
They're layering down so many people, his employees, his personal assistants, his friends, everybody. They're just saying everybody who was within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 degrees of him, you're questioned. You know, you're a participator. There's a lot coming today.
All of this is considered part of the organization and criminal conspiracy. So his homes, his plane, his boat,
bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
New York, and his statement on what they're actually, his statement about this indictment and what they're Diddy for. So let's get into it.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desire, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether. Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches. As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15.
Yo, oh my God. What? More than 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Had his own Johnson & Johnson at home. Wow. Baby oil? Over 1,000 bottles of baby oil? That's a lot to process.
Now I want to be clear about 2 things. First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly. Anyone with information can call 1-877-4-HSI-TIP. I want to express my deep appreciation for the victims and witnesses who have used their voices and helped bring this criminal conduct to light. We would not be here without them. I also want to thank the dedicated case agents on the HSI Trafficking in Person Squad in New York. They have been with us since day one and have worked tirelessly on this investigation. They will continue to be invaluable partners to us. I also want to thank the incredible agents and analysts from SCNY who have also provided tremendous assistance on this case. I'm deeply grateful for their continued work. And finally, I want to thank the outstanding career prosecutors from SCNY who are handling this case. Meredith Foster, Emily Johnson, Chrissy Slavic, Madison Smizer, and Mitzi Steiner, and their supervisors, Jamie Backleiter and Jacqueline Kelly. They are members of the Civil Rights Unit in our criminal division. We created the Civil Rights Unit when I became U.S. Attorney. I'm deeply proud of their work on this and so many other cases. I'll now take some questions.
Eric Katursky.
I want you to know that every single one of those names that he just mentioned is a white woman. Diddy is going to get buried. One of them's pregnant. Diddy is going to get buried alive. There's no coming back from this. Whoever he pissed off, they've got their lick on him. Wow. Just wow. I'm saying like wow. Because that's all I can really say. I'm speechless. Multiple life sentences. I don't think homie's back from got him. It's over now. It's over for him. And the dude said their investigation is not over. It's just getting started. It started. Dude said, listen, we're going to investigate everybody that you are. We're coming after you. We're going to investigate everybody. Oh my goodness. Christmas is going to be interesting. All the celebrities who like throwing all these parties, the holiday season is going to be looking very interesting. We're not going to see a lot of that on Instagram or on the internet in general, or on TV. A lot of them are going to be taking vacations, trying to keep a low profile. Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. It's over for you. It is over for you. Said, watch the party though. So Diddy's going to jail. They're going to seize all his assets. If he's not been able to turn any of his assets to his kids, it's donezo for them. They get to keep whatever they had. But then again, who's to say they were not involved in these freak-offs? Huh? Hollywood, weird. Who's to say his kids were not involved in the freak-offs? So his entire legacy diminished to dust. No Diddy. Imagine that. We are literally watching the possibility of it entirely. If he finds a way to finagle out of this, that would be some of the most interesting shit we'll see in a long time. If Diddy can pull a diddler on the gov, on the feds, if he can pull powerful people who have been involved with him and in these freak-offs, it's in the best interest of the Matrix to keep it quiet. So that's going to be interesting. All this talk about, oh, we are going to come after you, to the fullest extent of the law. We're going to charge you. Let me tell you something. As a person who is law enforcement or legality, they can hit you with the entire book, but only one charge is really the charge. But they'll hit you with the entire book if they don't favor you, if they have to make an example out of you, or if you are being a dickhead, they will hit you with the book. I mean, slam that shit on you and bury you with it. I'm telling you from it. I also watched Donald Trump. When they came after him, they hit him with how many? 34? Bruh. So they're going to do the exact same thing here to make an example out of him, to really send a clear message. I think they're going to keep slapping him around a little bit, but who's to say that he doesn't make bail? Who's to say they can really seize his assets? Who's to say what they really have? We don't know what they have. Right now, they could be flexing. They may have something. The feds definitely have something. But then again, I'm not going to pretend like this is not the same government that lied. That lied, yeah. It's the government that lied. But then again, pretend like isn't the same government that has lied to us many times about what they'll do or what they're doing, what their intentions are and what they really end up doing and what they really can only end up doing. They weren't able to get Jeffrey Epstein, or if they did, he killed himself. They still want us to believe that crap, by the way. I think they came after Diddy because Ghislaine Maxwell gave Diddy up. I think Ghislaine looked in her chess piece and said, who can I give up? And she said, I'm going to give up Diddy because that's going to get all that attention away from the feds who are involved in this as well. And all the white-collar corporate people who are involved in this as well. And turn it into Diddy is the kingpin of freak-offs in Hollywood. They were in the same camp. Don't be fooled. I mean, just look at this angle for a moment. We've not heard anything from Ghislaine. We don't know anything about her capture. They've kept her in isolation, complete isolation. They've not said a word about her. They've not said a word about Jeffrey Epstein. They've not said a word about that list. We still haven't heard of it. They've kept it quiet and distracted us with so many other things. This force is bold. It's going to go after you. And all those who don't align with it, boom. But Diddy is a scapegoat. Don't be wrong. Don't be fooled. He's a fool. Diddy is the fool in this case. He diddled himself into this. And so they just used him as a scapegoat, if you ask me. Because they can take all this attention and spit it on the rappers. Yeah, you're going to learn that you're a Negro today. All those white parties you wanted to have. Michael Rubin came and said, get the fuck out of here. This is my shit. This is our shit. The JEWs is our shit. That's what Michael Rubin said. Get the fuck out of here, Diddy. You're not going to throw no bigger, better party than me and be the star of the show every year. Who are you? You are a minion. You are a Zionist minion. You do what we tell you to do. You shift the agenda the way we want you to shift it. And should you buck or tried to bite the hand that feeds you, we will punish you and you will so regret it. And we will take everything we gave you away from you. That's exactly what they're doing to your boy, Diddy. He's not a victim. I'm not advocating for him whatsoever. He deserves what he's getting. It's just the truth. He deserves what he's getting. It's fucked up. But hey, let's see if the feds really keep their word to this, because y'all should pay attention. If the feds keep their word to bringing out the list of people who are Diddy freak-offs and participating, they should as well bring out Jeffrey Epstein's and Maxwell's list, because that list has got some of the same people on it. Yeah. It's got your boy Bill Gates on it. We know that. It's got your boy Bill on it. We know that. And a couple other more people I'm not going to mention right now because I can't think about that. But yeah, it's going to be juicy. Get your tea ready. Get your popcorn ready. Get your M&Ms ready. Get your Twizzlers ready. Get your blankets ready. Get your pillows ready. Get your comfy socks ready. Put your 3D glasses on. You know, if you're a coffee guy or a milkshake person, do that with your burger and sit back and watch the show because it's about to go down.